What is good, Tesla family? It's Ray J back with another video, and in this one, I'm going to be talking about the one and only Tesla stock and help you guys better understand the price action of Tesla. I'm also going to do some in-depth technical analysis and give you guys my price prediction for Monday and talk about where I see the share price going because I do see a bit of a bounce coming from the market just temporarily for maybe a day or two before we see more downside. Now, before I give you guys my prediction and break down what the Fed is doing, what's going on with the market, and how this will affect Tesla, I do have to mention a couple of things real quick. The first thing is I'm not a financial planner, so please don't take this as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please smash the like button if you want to see more videos like this. And it not only benefits me, but the entire Tesla community as a whole. And the last things, if you guys can, please check out the Webull link down below in the description. If you sign up for Webull, the link down below, and deposit any amount of money into the account, you are guaranteed 6 free stocks, each worth up to $2,000. And you could always sell these 6 free stocks for cash and use that cash to buy some Tesla shares for free in this limited time offer that ends in just 2 weeks. So please check it out to get your free money. With that out of the way, let's get on with the video. So I also want to apologize to you because the audio of this video may not be the best because I am recording this from a different place and in a different PC. But anyways, I want to just get on with this. So the thing about Tesla is, looking at Tesla, this thing's been dropping for quite a bit. However, we did get a slight bounce at the very end of Friday. However, what you'll notice is that the SPY did something similar. On Friday, we saw this nice bounce that formed too. So Tesla's essentially running with the overall market. But the thing about the way it's running is there are external factors that are going to cause it to run a little bit harder than the market in some ways, or even like less hard. And what I mean by that is, let's just say, for instance, hypothetically, right, the SPY were to have a day where it drops 1 or 2%, Tesla could be a little bit different. Maybe the Nasdaq will be down 1%. Tesla could be down 9% instead of just 2, 3, 4%. It could be down 9% because of all the external things going on. Obviously, there's a lot of manipulation. There's a lot of people selling. There's a lot of fear right now. There's lots of panic and all these things going on. I know Elon Musk made moves. Some people agree with him. Other people's they may not, and that's okay. I'm okay with people agreeing and disagreeing. People have the right to have opinions, but I want to put it out there that all these things are going to affect Tesla. So what's happening to the market is this. Okay, look at the price action of the SPY, and I drew out these two trend lines to make this as simplified as possible. The SPY pushes down, right? Get a nice bounce, pushes down harder. We get a bounce, it pushes down, bounce, pushes down, another bounce before we entered this zone where we started dropping a little bit harder. And you could see the SPY went from 429, dropped all the way down. Okay, and then we push right back up to this this key level of resistance. And after that, we push down, and now we're trying to push up again. And I do think we're going to push up a little bit more before we see a lot more downside, because from the RSI perspective, if I bring up the RSI, we are kind of close to that oversold range, and we are kind of set for a slight rally. I don't want to say it's like a big rally, just a tiny little rally that's going to push the SPY up a couple of dollars before we see a little bit more downside. And you can see the same thing about the NASDAQ, right? Because the NASDAQ does involve a lot of price action from a lot of tech stocks. What I'm seeing is something very similar. Look at this downward trend we're forming. Excuse me. What you could see is we drop down, kind of slight push, drop down more. We got a nice bounce right there, right? And right here, big drop, a nice bounce up to that almost 13,000 range, drop down pretty hard, slight bounce, drop down again. And what's happening is we're making these lower lows. Essentially, we're going a little bit lower, we're starting to downward trend. But when we make these lower lows, if you actually look at the pattern, we push up to previous resistance levels first before we push down even lower. So once again, Nasdaq's also pretty darn oversold. I think there's going to be a slight bounce for that too. If you look at the MACD, we're all about to get this crossover right here from the MACD and the signal line, or the 9-day moving average. So once again, a signal for a slight bounce. Looking at the SPY, once again, I didn't show you guys the MACD. Same thing is about to form, and as for Tesla, it's the same thing. Now, this doesn't mean that I'm going to turn bullish for forever. I'm not saying Tesla's going to just keep running and running and running for the next few weeks. I don't see it that way, okay? There are going to be temporary bounces, slight bounces here and there, and I do think Tesla's going to be a part of that, but then there will be more downside for the next upcoming days or weeks as well. So let's talk about Tesla now. One of the things to note is the fact that there isn't too much happening in the whole Fed situation on Monday, but Tuesday, okay? Tuesday at 12:20 p.m. I believe that's Eastern time. Jerome Powell, the chairman, is going to be speaking, and when he talks, the market moves. Okay, if he says something that's a little bit hawkish, the market could take a big hit. If not, it won't be as bad. But what's happening to Tesla is this. So I kind of pinpointed a lot of previous support zones from the past. I want to actually share this with you before I give you guys my price prediction. Okay, because it's important to know where this thing could get a bounce from, where this thing has resistance before we talk about that. So I'm going to use the 1 minute candles. We're going to zoom out and check this out real quick. Just like this. So let's just say hypothetically, before I give you my prediction, let's say Tesla starts crashing. It's just starts stumping, okay? My predictions are not always going to be right, which is why I'm preparing you, okay? If this thing drops, there's going to be some kind of like support, a bit of a support region around that 650 range. 637 could be support, but I'm seeing 631. That's what the chart is showing. That's the bigger support area, or kind of like a demand zone. 631 to 633. If that doesn't hold, we're probably going to head to 615. If that doesn't hold, 600. So be on the lookout for that. I do see those as possible targets for the future, just not Monday quite yet. If we start pushing up, okay, 680 is going to be a very key resistance level, because that's where Tesla used to get its bounces from. That's previous support in a way. And right now, this previous demand zone is where we're going to see some resistance. 700 will be resistance, and so will 719, 732. So be on the lookout for these zones, okay? Predictions aren't always going to be right, but this is what I think is going to happen. So when it comes to the SPY, when you look at the SPY, you're going to see this. I think that, and what I saw from the SPY going a little bit forward was 393 to 394. That should be a key resistance level. So you want to be on the lookout for this zone right here. See how there was a lot of price action right here? I could actually draw out some indicators. And trust me, this relates to Tesla. Just give me 1 second. Right here. Key resistance zone, that 389 to 393. So be on the lookout for this. If the SPY breaks out of 393 and starts pushing, the whole market could actually push a little bit before we see temporary moves. I predict that Monday and Tuesday, I'm sorry, Monday should be actually a green day for the market. Tuesday should be kind of green, but a little bit more sideways. And then Wednesday should be more sideways, followed by some red. And then Thursday and Friday should be more red days, and the SPY may actually make lower lows on those days. It may get kind of bloody on those days, and that's how I'm seeing Tesla as well. So if the SPY starts pushing, okay, Tesla is probably going to start pushing on Monday, and that's what I think is going to happen. Tesla might actually start pushing to these previous levels. Let me first draw this out for you. What could happen is, hold on, Tesla starts pushing, okay, into opening, and we're going to get rejected maybe around 680, push a little bit down. But I would anticipate that we actually starts pushing a little bit higher, and we actually hit 700, right? I think we're going to do that in the very beginning. Then we're going to start slowing down and stay in this 680 to 700 range, maybe drop a little below that. But I do anticipate some green for Monday, right? And I do think we're going to try to hold up in these ranges, maybe go a little bit higher, but don't excuse me, don't necessarily look at this as the best rally in history, because, like I said before, going into the later days, I wouldn't be surprised if this thing starts to drop by the time we get to Thursday, Friday, and I do see Tesla actually going lower than 630 in those later days. The key zone I'm looking at is 615, okay? Remember 615 to 600. I think we're going to end up in this range later during the week. We are going to get a slight cool off from the RSI, which is completely oversold, which is why I'm aiming a little bit more on the bullish side for Monday. And I do see a slight bounce, but by the time we get to Thursday, Friday, maybe even as early as Wednesday, this thing is most likely going to drop, and we are going to start making those lower lows from the short term, in my opinion. So be on the lookout for this. It's not 100% guaranteed. Nothing in the market's guaranteed. My predictions have been correct on some instances and also wrong on other ones. So I want to let you know that, look, if that's the case, I told you what the key support and resistance levels are, and I did show you as to why I think the Nasdaq and the SPY might get a slight bounce. So I am kind of seeing that as the most likely possibility. But then if you look at this from a more, how should I say, macro perspective, as stated before, Later days, there is more downside coming from Tesla. You can see this downward trend that's forming, but just because we're on this downward trend, there have been some moments where we pushed up, just like this right here. Look at May. I'm sorry, the end of April to May, we got a nice push up here. I do think we might get a slight push up just temporarily before we see more downside. So that's essentially what I'm predicting. With that out of the way, I want to thank you all for listening. Slight green days do not mean we're in a straight up bullish market. In fact, the bears do have a lot of control right now. Uh, it's just the way things go. Now, as for the future outlook of Tesla, I understand that some people are frustrated. I get it. Okay, it's hurtful, but you have to be optimistic. By being optimistic, you have to look at this as not bad, not good, but as opportunity. Okay, it's an opportunity. Why is it an opportunity? Because you have the opportunity to sell covered calls on a later day of the week. You have the opportunity to buy Tesla shares in the 600s, the 500s, if it actually goes that low in the next few weeks. It's possible, right? It's possible for us to go even lower to that low $600 level for the later days. I mentioned that. It's not the end of the world. It's an opportunity. You could buy more shares for cheap because this thing still has immense potential. It's not a dead company, okay? Right now, it's going to be tough. The whole market's not in the best of states, but it's going to recover. It's going to recover. Their production is improving. We know that they're entering many sectors. You may not always agree with the political aspect of what the CEO has stated. That's okay. That's fine. But you have to remember they're entering many different sectors, and nothing when it comes to its potential has changed. The potential is still there. I'm still very bullish for the long term. I see this thing going to many thousands of dollars a share without accounting for the stock split. The stock split may actually start coming in the next couple of months. It's a possibility. So there are things that could actually push the share price up. Not everything is fundamentally going to do that, but you understand my point. Things are improving for the long term. This is just an opportunity. Short term, I'm a little bit more on the bearish side for the short term. Monday could be kind of green, later days of the week red, but long term, nothing has changed. Anyways, thank you for listening. I want to wish each and every one of you the best. And remember, this is not the end of the world. You have to keep your composure and don't let your emotions get the best of you. Thank you all for listening. This is an opportunity for scalps, for day trades, other setups, or buying the dip. This is the opportunity. Thank you. Tesla is still a very bullish company for the long term. Nothing has changed, and I'm still very excited for what's to come. Thank you. Tesla to the moon. Enjoy your weekend and peace out.